are back for another exciting episode of The Spicy Life. Today's episode is brought to you by the delicious Spicy Mama hot sauce. Can you guys hear the spice in there?
Spicy Mama.
Spicy
Sounds
Mama.
spicy.
Tamarindo, my new favorite word.
As always, I'm Spicy Madi, your host, and joined with me is the beautiful co-host, Dr. Allie.
What up?
And today we have an amazing couple that we could get super excited about sharing with you, Kevin and Melissa Fredricks.
Hey!
I love that they cheer for like each other.
Yeah.
That's teamwork. That's how you know they've been together for a long time. Okay, the reason that I wanted this beautiful couple to come in is because I know Kevin from comedy, and I'm familiar with like some of his work with ADD. He has a tour going on right now. It's called Real Comedians of Social Media.
Yes.
That's dope. That concept is even dope. But what I also notice on your social is that you're always like propping out your wife. You're giving her props. You're like shouting her out and showing her mad love. And I'm just like, oh, it's so endearing.
I love that.
Yes,
Love, love.
it's like all this affirmation on social.
Yes.
I love it. But Melissa, you're an author. And I wish I had you in here for a different episode. Freaking the journey to self-love. We talked about self-love on the show. I could have had an expert on self-love in
I don't know
here.
about an expert, but
That's
definitely.
Oh, girl,
Living in
I mean, if
stop.
you wrote a book, you could know 200
You wrote
pages
the
of
book.
it.
Oh, okay.
But you also have a YouTube video called Two Brown Girls for
That's
young
right.
girls.
I do, with my friend Deandra, and I have a YouTube channel called Two Brown Girls, where we just do like makeup videos and tutorials and cater to the underrepresented women of color in
There we
the beauty
go.
industry.
There we go.
But how amazing is that? I mean, Kevin, I love you, but
Very
your
is.
wife is like,
She's, I was
'cause
telling
I was
somebody
reading her
earlier.
resume, I'm like, oh wait, we don't need
Yeah.
Kevin really. 'cause
We could have a
she's
whole
amazing. Yeah.
episode on how brown girls didn't have any makeup until Rihanna showed up with
Until
Fenty.
last
Real
Thursday.
life.
Right.
I mean, like,
Real
we can
life.
talk about that. 2017 was the
Yes.
first time I got
And-
a color that actually matched my skin.
In real life, though.
Like, right?
yeah,
Jeez.
it's quite a shame.
Yeah, girl, let me tell you what.
What about you?
Okay, sorry, Kim. We gotta include Kim on that.
No, it's okay. I'm just, hey, man.
You like that banana? You did that banana?
What I love right now, like this, I think is the most interesting. Like, yes, you guys have phenomenal careers and your guys' businesses are growing every single day in the industry. But you have a podcast together, Love and Laugh Hour Live.
Well, the podcast is called The Love Hour.
The Love Hour.
The tour is The Love
tour.
Hour Live.
Oh, okay.
So it's,
Oh,
hey,
it's just
spicy,
so
you know,
much.
hey.
I mean,
It's a lot of branding name things.
I
There's a
love
lot of
to
branding
keep
going
up
on.
with.
Love and hours is
You're
spread
doing,
out a lot of
you're
different
doing
ways.
Love
everything.
hours.
If
Yeah.
you were doing everything, it would be easier to keep
Yes,
track of.
yes.
Okay, so explain to me, because I haven't had a chance to see the tour, what I can expect from that, and how the heck did you start a podcast with your wife?
Well, so before we even moved to LA, Washington, we did a live event where we just talked about, love and relationships and marriage and stuff like that. So I can't remember why we decided to do the
Because
podcast.
before that, in our church in Washington, we were, thank you, part of they called it the Marriage Enrichment Ministry at our church, and we taught or helped to teach classes from a perspective of a young couple. And through that marriage enrichment, I won the Men Are
Super
From
Bowl.
Mars. No.
Yes.
Men Are From Mars,
Men Are From Mars, thank you. Women Are From Venus. And it was the first relationship book that I had read from start to finish.
It was
And
good,
I
huh?
found it fascinating.
So good.
Like, to be
So
honest,
true. I was like, yes, that's true. Yes, that's true.
me too. And it was just really enlightening. And then I just kind of fell in love with reading relationship books and listening to them. And from there, just because we're a young couple, and in general, young couples are always looking for someone else young,
Yes.
as inspiration and who to look up to and advice and those type of things. And so we just kind of took that on in our live event that we did in Washington. And then that spawned into the podcast.
That is extremely dope. I love the fact that you guys are not just married, but you get to work together too, doing like your passion project.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the beginning of the show, we always start off with some, juicy juice, the spicy dish. All right. So I'm curious
Juicy
to hear
juice.
your guys'
Juicy
thoughts and
juice.
opinions. Yes. I used to be a gymnast, so I was like shocked
nice.
when I
Really?
found out that
I was
know.
too for 12 years.
That's amazing.
You wouldn't believe it because I'm not. as
How y'all
flexible
know
as
each
I
other?
used to
Neither of
be.
y'all knew y'all were
Yes.
gymnasts. Y'all gotta have some girls' nights out and really get to
mean,
connect
why not?
outside of work.
That's
We
amazing.
haven't talked about our old sports day. We mostly
What
talk
were you
about
doing in
like
third
guys
grade,
and stuff. But like, I want to make sure I'm saying his name. Larry Nassar.
Mhm.
Okay, he just
Talk about
pleaded guilty for molesting hundreds of gymnasts.
Was it hundreds?
Yes, hundreds.
Hundreds?
Hundreds.
I'm not over exaggerating.
That's crazy.
Because I didn't realize that when you go to these national training camps, your parents are not allowed to attend.
Oh, I didn't know
It's
that either. I never
only
made
the
it that
girls.
far.
It's only the girls.
Who
and
was the
coaches.
chaperone? Oh, the coaches.
The coaches.
And a lot of the coaches were molesting girls as well.
And so I guess a lot of this was going down. One girl literally talks about how she was drugged on the plane because she was like scared of flying or something.
Oh,
He gave her
snap.
like a sleeping pill and she woke up in a hotel room with him.
Oh my God.
Like,
Oh.
it's
Why is
real.
this-
Like, this
this is a reoccurring thing that
terrifying.
we are just seeing. It's like never ending when it comes to all the information that's coming out about just men
Wow.
taking advantage of
Pandora's
women.
box was open. One woman came
Yes.
forward and it just
well, I think the
cracked
thing
open.
that's the reason we never hear about it is because when it's, brought to light,
Right.
they just pay people off and you sign an
Hush
NDA
money.
and settlement and then people just don't
Disappear.
know. Like
Yeah.
that family knows
Yeah.
they legally can't talk about
Yeah.
it. So there's a girl sitting next to you and, it's
Y'all
not a
don't
thing
They're
you
in the
just,
same.
yeah, you don't necessarily say, hey, did this doctor do,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you're kind of like afraid or whatever. So, I mean, it's crazy that somebody could do
Yeah.
that to 5 people, much less like 100
Hundreds.
And
over
a
a
lot
year.
like athletes. These are girls that are in the public eye.
Yeah,
There's only
absolutely.
365 days in a year. Like 100 of them, you were
Yeah,
like.
he was on that
I'm
molestation.
just saying is ridiculous, and the fact that it took so long for him to get caught. And Simone Biles was one of.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no,
Not my Simone.
No.
Not my little.
Kev, I love you, but I'm gonna try to fix this so that it's
Okay.
not just like in your face.
I didn't know. I just wanted to sound like a radio host.
Okay, so put it to the side. Or
Oh, yeah, we
something.
can
Is that
actually just
better?
cut that out too.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all edit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That molestation joke. Maybe
But-
not make it final cut. If you have a chance to take it out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Even
As
the
long as you're
molestation-
speaking close enough into it, I didn't want it in your face the entire time.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
like,
He's like molestation joke.
While we're cutting, I don't know how that's going to come across out of
Whole
context.
last 3 minutes bit.
it's just a clip of you saying molestation.
Yeah, he was on that molestation. Comedian Kev on stage. No, I was.
I was anti-molestation. I swear.
It was taken out of context.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, but it was just like it looked like it was bothering you. So I was like,
cool.
it was
But this
right
is much better.
in your face.
It was like talking to a tree branch, but I'm good now.
A tree branch.
Okay, you guys have children, so in a situation where you entrusted someone with your 2 sons, you just picked them up from like soccer practice or something like
Yeah.
that.
I did.
If you right, he's like,
I would be in jail.
me.
I would be in
Somebody
Right.
is.
How does a parent react to something like that? Like these are hundreds of parents that
You
have
know
now
the
been
thing about,
affected.
but thing about parenthood that I realize, all you do is worry about your kids. Like once you have them, the worries just change on their age. When they're first born, is he gonna sleep through the night? What if he has SIDS? If he sleeps on the wrong thing? What if
Oh
he
my
throws up and he dies and he chokes on it? And then you bring him in your bed, like what if I smother him?
Yeah.
And they go to school, it's like what if somebody pushes
It's too
them?
much.
It's too
Ah!
Like you just literally never stop worrying. So it's this constant, just like, Barack, we were watching this thing with Barack Obama on Netflix and he was like, it's like your heart living outside your body.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that's really what it is. Like,
That's
we're
too
going
much.
on
That's
tour.
too
You have to
much.
leave them with babysitters and family, and not, leave them with trustworthy people. But then you worry like, how are they going to be affected by us being gone? Like, but it's a constant stream of worry. And even my mom to this day still calls like, everything all right? You ain't driving? You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
my
and I'm
gosh.
34, and she's still like, I might as well be 10 to her. You know what I mean? So you constantly worry about that stuff, and then all you can really do
It's pray.
is pray and have really open communication with your
Dialogue.
children.
Yeah.
Like that's all you can do. Like remind them that they won't be in trouble for talking to you about this stuff. You can never be in trouble talking about stuff. If it's, anybody that makes you feel uncomfortable, related or not, you can talk to me and mommy about it. You will never get in trouble. And then you just hope that they
Fingers
feel,
crossed.
you just hope that they feel confident enough to do
Or we
it.
just go straight Black Mirror and start putting microchips in their brain
There you
so
go.
we can watch anything that they
Microchips.
see.
Oh, I'm reading the
pro
text message.
I'm
microchips.
completely here for my
I'm
family.
really-
right there, and you can just have a little app, and you're like, okay, what is my kid looking at now?
Yes. And what are they thinking?
Yeah, yeah. I would be all in their business, like he and everything. Like you don't wipe properly.
Do it
All
again.
in it.
Do
All
it
in
again.
it. Okay, so we got to give 2 shout outs. Kim and Kanye just had their baby on
They
Monday
did.
on MLK Day.
Did they?
And she
Yeah.
did the
Well,
best thing in the
she
world.
She had a Sarah.
or did
She
Kylie
was
have her
so
baby?
That
smart.
is, that's what
Listen,
they're saying.
Kylie's
They're
not ruining her body for her
Kylie.
sister. They
I love
hired
her.
somebody else who's a pro.
That's,
They hired a
that's
pro.
another kind of
Because
money.
your
It's like,
nutrition
you know what? I
has
want
to
a
be
kid, but
impeccable for you
For you
to
to carry.
to care for somebody else's child. Like you have to get all this blood work done.
I want
Kylie's
her
not
to
like
be
drinking and
vegan.
smoking. She wasn't.
That's a
I want her
good
to be vegan for 20 years.
Right.
I want to know what the
Why do you say pure? Well, congratulations to them. Shout out to Kim and Kyle.
Shout out to
for
Kim
their
and call me.
girl. They had a
We don't know
girl.
each
Why
other.
she called me?
I just
Just call them. Just
And
call
then we
them.
also have to give a special shout out to the first lady, Michelle. She just had a birthday on
Kimo.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh.
My heart. She's my president.
Yes.
Yeah, she's amazing.
You know, behind every strong man is a
Absolutely.
strong woman.
Yes,
Amen.
behind, beside, beneath, on top,
Lifting up.
all around.
Well, she
Support.
sung his praises on Instagram, similar to what you do for your wife.
Yes.
Because he sent her flowers on her birthday, so she made sure that she, let the world know. Thank you to my best friend, my biggest fan.
That's so
and
sweet, Michelle.
that made me think of you guys.
Did it
Because
really?
Such an angel.
When I see men on social media who are just praising their beloved, it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, women die for that. Women want that. A lot of times people have problems in their relationships because of jealousy or whatever. The person doesn't post them. The person doesn't give them credit.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so just to see you do that, I thought that was adorable. I loved it.
Did you? I'm on Instagram entirely too much. But did you see the this girl had sent like a picture of herself, like a selfie to her boyfriend, and he was at work, and he had his like work
Oh, yeah,
partner
he's
take a picture of him fainted on the ground.
Yes,
And
that
everyone
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
I saw that.
hashtag love goals. I was like,
That's sweet.
I wish I would have thought of that.
He's like, dang it, why you say that? I'm gonna cycle it. But I do consider you guys like experts in the industry of marriage. I'm new to marriage. I'm fresh 1 month married.
Congratulations.
But thank you. But I'm a expert dater, and so and Dr. Ali,
adjustment.
you've been married like a couple years,
no,
3
a year
years?
and a half.
A year and a half.
March 19, 2016.
Aaron's behind the camera right now. He probably doesn't want to get in trouble and guess the wrong date.
No, we're always wrong. We don't. A year and some change.
But you guys have been together
Coming up.
for 16 years.
Yeah.
No, you've been dating since you were 16. You married
Yes.
for 13.
Correct.
That is a long ass time to be with somebody.
It is.
Especially, and you guys are like our age.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's
we're
crazy.
still
I'm
all
not
the
good
same.
at math. I've been messing up
We're
with
still
that.
all the same age.
We started dating on May 15, 2000. So this
Wow.
May, it'll be 18 years together, and it'll be 14 years of marriage.
In June.
The fact that
in
you know
June.
that date is
Yeah,
already...
well, because I'm going to tell you what happened,
amazing.
Dr. Ali.
Here we go.
May 1st, I hit her with the "Will you be my girl?" Okay, she says yes. Okay,
Okay.
so then I'm thinking we go together.
Done.
Okay,
Right.
I put my hand on her knee, and she
Done.
like, "Fam, what are you doing?"
Oh, this is
And I'm like, "Yo, what are you was my girlfriend." She's like, "I ain't never said that." And I was like, "Hold on, but this whole 2 weeks we was together." No, you know, if you want to be, you need to ask me straight up. So that's why the date moved
I
from
like
May 1st to May 15th. When I was like, "Will you please be my girlfriend? And would like to be together with me, please?" And then since then we've been together.
So, that is a beautiful story. But
Is it?
yes, because
That's the truth. Don't ask for her side because it's going to be
but it's
lies and
honest.
propaganda.
it's
Lies
honest,
and
yeah. I'm sure he's doing it like
And she
multiple times
asserted
clowning
herself.
you, like,
Yeah,
you were
she's
hating on
been
Liv.
strong her whole life.
He ain't telling the truth.
How did you get him to marry you? This is what today's episode is about. Because
Yeah, how did you get me to marry?
I
Because
didn't.
everybody out
I
there
had
wants to
suitors.
know how to find a husband. And the Bible says, he who findeth the woman findeth it the good thing. But hell, we don't wait for that, okay? We got to take actions into our own hands. What did you do in order to make this man fall in love with you?
I am the wrong person to ask.
no, I'd love to hear this.
She's
What
like,
did you
oh,
do?
it's just natural.
Yeah, well, not at all. But to be honest, growing up, I always envisioned myself as like a lawyer in New York, high heels, briefcase.
Sex
A
in the City.
husband.
Yes.
Was never a list or on my like life goals. A husband, kids. It just wasn't how I imagined my life going. And then Kevin walks in, and honestly, I felt like you pursued me more than I. So I'm like,
Well, I didn't know this was your
You were
dream.
jockeying me.
Your dream didn't have a husband in it.
no. I'm
No,
not.
no, it's cool. It's totally cool if, dreams
What
change.
I mean.
Are we starting fights?
No.
It don't matter what her dream
different
was. This is a dream
variations.
now.
Yeah,
It's
there
live
you
now.
There we go.
This is her dream. This is her dream.
This is my phone.
This is her dream.
Commercial break.
Commercial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so with that said, I actually, honestly, sincerely believe that what the Bible says about a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. I think a lot of times we, as women, we have this life goal, the envision of our life, and so we're going down this road of like chasing it to make it happen.
Mhm.
And I really believe if a man isn't ready, you can't make him be ready.
Absolutely.
You can slap him with a baby. It's a good start.
No,
Preach. That's not the answer.
That's a good start, though.
Listen,
It's going to
that's
be
not
like,
the
man,
answer
I'm
at
going
all.
to think about it.
And then you're miserable because you're stuck with someone who you don't even know
With
or
the baby.
love.
He looked like you.
No, he's playing games. But honestly, sincerely, like, I just feel like I was really trying to, like, make sure Melissa was together, and he came and distracted me from my goals.
The story of true love. He distracted me from my
He
goals.
distracted me
I
from
didn't
my
go to
goals.
law
But
school. I
and I
didn't go to New York.
wouldn't, I mean, I'm teasing right now, but I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. My life, the way I envision, again, going back to what we envision, and we're going down this road, and it didn't happen. It didn't unfold the way I envisioned. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Did you see yourself getting with a entrepreneur, a talent, a writer, a comedian? Like, did you see yourself getting with an artist?
I'll tell you, no.
I
No.
saw myself.
Well, but part of
Mike,
it
are
is
you on?
because
No.
I didn't.
I was going to tell you why, though. Number one, we were 16 years old. Like, it just wasn't on my list of, like, this is what I would like in a man. On my list were, I remember my mom saying, look for a man that treats his mom well. Because that's a man who will treat you well. If he knows how to treat his mama, he'll know how to treat you. And look for a Christian man and someone who's honest and someone who has good work ethic. And we were 16, but those are traits that he had at 16. He worked at Burger King, didn't have a car, rode on a bike.
Burger King.
Yes, Burger King.
I was out here.
On a bike.
You had a job.
We
At least he
lived-
was employed.
I had a job
That's
at
what I'm
14.
saying.
At
Those
least he was
are...
employed.
I've been working consistently since I was 14. I was getting paid under the table.
Hard work and
You
dedication
know,
is paying off.
I think I just got my first job like a few years ago.
Dr. Allie just became a grown-up.
Y'all weren't working at 16?
I was working at 16. I was working at Mr. Rags. It was like this hip-hop.
Oh, I remember Mr.
I was
Rags!
Mr. Rags. Girl. Yeah, you know.
That was where they had all the like
The
urban clothes, Willie
stuff.
Esco and
Now
stuff.
I'm at LA's home for hip-hop and R&B.
Like, glow up for real.
Dr. Allie must have had a good life. Work, I don't know. I'll be in my study.
I was
around
around.
at
My mom
14.
was like, "I will pay you to go to school."
Really?
I
Yeah, she was
wish.
the mom that was like, "Here, you get money for good grades." And
See, my mom
yeah.
said that, but she never paid up.
I feel like I was giving
Never
my
paid
mom
when it
money
was
in
time.
high school. See,
I-
I
Yeah,
grew up poor.
my parents didn't make us pay for stuff, but she was like, look, if you want anything outside of like this house and food, it's on you.
Yeah.
It's your
So you want
responsibility.
Jordans, you want clothes, you got your own fam.
I
So
definitely
we
had
had
around
to
at
work,
14.
and all our friends were working too, so it wasn't unusual to be
beautiful,
working.
though.
So how
Yeah.
many hours a week do the kids work?
Oh yeah.
To get on that.
I think we're gonna be like Dr.
Y'all
Alex
pay
parents.
them
Like,
those grades. Pay them those grades.
we do that. Like we
Yes.
incentivize them, but at 16, fam, you can get a little job.
Not a 9 to 5, but definitely a job.
Well, now they
Nine
can
to
just build an
five.
app or something. They can end up paying your bill.
You
There
can do
you go.
something.
They can just build an
You can
app.
drive
I'm here for
Uber.
that too.
Drive Uber.
I'm actually completely here
I
for
would never want a
entrepreneurship.
16-year-old Uber driver. I would pass
Ever.
out.
I would be nervous, lack of experience. You mentioned some qualities earlier when it came to the things that your mother had told you about what to look for in a man.
Yes.
Dr. Ali, you brought it to my attention before. Like, could it be that us women are looking for the wrong things when it comes to relationships? I want to give you guys the 10 things that they say, or that we found on askmen.com, that they took like a kind of like a poll, and these were like the top things that allegedly women were looking for when it came to a relationship. Okay. Number 1 is sense of humor. So
Okay.
Is this in order of
This is-
most important or just
this is in order.
Okay,
You're
in
like
order.
top
Sense of
the
humor.
list.
You're
Bang.
top of the list.
bang?
So I don't know why she gave you such a hard time. She wanted you to work for it. Okay. Sense of humor. Oh, agree. Wait, no. Am I reading the wrong list? Hold on. Ask men women look for in a man. Oh, wait. This is not top of the list. Sorry. Humor is number 10.
Oops. It was upside
Okay.
down.
Cool.
Passion and adventure is number 1 for what women look for in a man.
That's
Passion
great.
and-
Sorry, Kev.
Go camping if you want. In Nordstrom's rack boots, whatever.
But you have number 10. So number 10 is
There we
humor.
go.
You had
We
number
out
10.
here.
But number 1 in order is, so it's passion and adventure. It goes intelligence, patience, honest and dependable, have shared values, thoughtful and generous, empathetic, confident about your appearance, and a good listener, and then you humorous.
Then humor.
Aw.
How many of these other qualities would you say he had?
Even at 16, I would honestly say all of them.
Your boy
Oh,
was
that is
powerful.
beautiful.
And
well
I'm going to
developed.
tell you, at 16, you are who you're going to be. You
You
know what I
think
mean?
so? You think-
Well, to a certain extent, meaning that those qualities Can I look at your list?
Yes, yes.
Okay, passionate adventure. Kev was doing those things like the things that we do now. We got a little bit bigger money, so we go to bigger places, but he would want to take me places I had never experienced. It was just on a 16-year-old budget, you know?
Have you heard of the Admiral's
You know what I
Feast at Red Lobster?
But
It's
he was
crazy.
exhibiting those qualities
Right.
then. He was always been smart. Even in college, studied my notes, got better grades than I got. I
And
don't know how
slept
he
through
did it.
college.
Slept through college, looked at my notes, and would literally do better on the test than I did. I still don't know how he did it to this day.
Big head, big brain.
Yes, I'm only going to do
That's
a few more.
accurate.
But honest and dependable, shared values was a big thing. I grew up very churchy, and I always wanted someone who could connect to the God in me. So we're not going down different
Yeah.
wavelengths, thinking about things differently. It's the person I want to have kids with. I want my kids to go to church, and you ain't really feeling church. That's an area of strife potentially in our relationship. These are things that at 16 I could identify in him. Absolutely.
You were very enlightened as a young child.
Well,
I mean, I wanted a guy that like had a big car, lots
I
of
was like,
money,
"Ooh, we got a new
was like
Hyundai."
really cute, maybe a few tattoos.
You wanted a rapper.
Definitely,
Right.
like, definitely. As a kid, I was just like the worst.
I want Ja Rule.
I want
for a
Ja
husband.
Rule.
Oh God, yeah, Ja Rule was the thing. No, it was more so Genuine for me.
Oh man,
Oh,
baby
Genuine.
hairs on
Like, you would've
fleek.
had my
Genuine
heart.
on a motorcycle or something. Yeah, that would have been 16-year-old
Naked,
Allison's husband.
with a shirt off.
Yeah.
And you know who my 16-year-old husband is? Will Smith.
Responsible family man. Look at that. Where's Genuine now? What was he just embroiled in?
I think
Drama.
he works at Target. I think.
No, he was just embroiled in some transgender drama on his little show
He
on
was.
Big Brother. I would have married the wrong guy. You see,
You would have.
You
I would have
have.
definitely
Will
married the
Smith
wrong guy.
doing a
Oh, I
little bit
missed
better
the
than Genuine.
transgender thing.
A transgender person tried to kiss him on the show, and he was
And
like,
he-
"No."
Oh,
Yep.
I
And
did
now
hear
they're
about
saying he's
that.
anti-trans.
Anti-trans. Yep,
I did hear about
Yeah.
that. What? Just
Man,
he
my
doesn't
My
have to
childhood
kiss
crush.
anybody he
I know
doesn't
he shouldn't
want.
have to kiss anybody.
I agree with that. I didn't understand
But
what
I feel like even if
backlash
you're heterosexual, if somebody wants to kiss you that you don't, are you
Right.
anti-hetero? Like I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
kiss.
yeah.
That doesn't make me anti anything.
Well,
I don't
people-
think.
They said she was trying to prove her point, though, right?
Yeah.
Like she was trying to, I think, make him uncomfortable to
Oh.
try to prove her point. But that's not how you prove it.
Yeah,
By that was
By
pushing the
assaulting someone,
envelope.
by sexually assaulting someone.
Yes.
That's actually what
I'll show you. You don't know about
Right,
trans
So
lives.
you're attempting to sexually assault me, and I'm like, no, please don't sexually assault me. And it's like, oh, you're anti-trans,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you guys
I'm
need to see
anti-
Dave Chappelle's
Oh,
stand
man.
up.
So
He went
good.
in.
So
Like,
good.
Yeah,
Oh,
went
we did
in.
just watch that, didn't we?
We
Dave is
did.
great. Dave is great. He's back.
Shared values.
Okay, so if all of these are the things that we should be looking for when it comes to a man, why are we compromising so many of these things when it comes to dating, especially in 2018? Go ahead, speak on it, Dr. Allen.
Well, I think a lot of it is because, like, society tells you have to be married by this time. Like, there's all these rules that I think people have a hard time rejecting. They have a hard time listening to their own inner voice and figuring out, like, I'm ready when I'm ready, and it'll happen when it happens. Like, people come into my office, and I would say, like, the top 5 things, one of them is always, I want to get married.
That's like
Yeah.
a goal.
That's a goal. And I'm like, marriage cannot be a goal because it
Really?
involves somebody else.
Why can't
That's-
marriage be a goal?
Yes.
Okay,
Because
so elaborate.
goals are personal. Goals are things that you can control. I cannot control a man falling in love with me to the point where he wants to marry me. I can't, even if I propose, he could still
Just
say
another
no.
person.
Wow.
It's another
I've never
person.
thought
You're
about
like,
that
he can't be a
that.
part. It
If
can't
one
be a
of my
goal.
goals is to become the director of the station or something like that, that can be prevented from my boss
But
or
you
from
can still
another
work
outside
toward
person,
it.
though.
Like, if you want to be the director of a large media network,
Yeah,
you can do that.
but somebody can prevent that, though. It's outside of my body,
But you can
though.
still do the things that you can do to be the best that you can be
At that.
in that position.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I can't, like, so what I tell people is, well, what are the things that are keeping you from getting married in your mind? What are the things that are keeping you back? Do you have, like, some trauma from your childhood that makes it difficult for you to be close to people? That's a goal. Let's work on decreasing, your resistance to being closer to
Yeah.
people. Let's work on, like, is your
The
attitude super shitty?
interpersonal, yeah.
Let's work on improving your shitty
That can
attitude.
be a preventive.
Like, because there's a lot of things that could keep you out of a relationship. So I'm more so focused on what you can do, because then people get frustrated.
Because
when they don't get married,
yeah. the
I think
outside.
even in the
can't
Disney
control
movies,
it.
you can't make somebody fall in love. Even
Sure
the genie's like, they can't make you fall in
That's
love.
so
Right?
And he's a genie.
It's the one
Even
thing
the
you
genie's
couldn't
like,
do.
girl, I can't do
Oh
it. Because that's not on you. That's on you. That's very
That was
interesting.
so
I never thought
good.
about
It
that.
takes
was
two. No,
so
that's
good.
that is a great point, though, because it's two people. You can do everything right, but if it is not the right time in the person's life, they will not have the ability to be able to appreciate you and accept you and be who you need them to be.
Yes.
And you don't want to feel like you failed at something because it's someone else's
You're
they're not
agreeing a
prepared.
lot.
I just
She's in it.
because
Or not
to
your
be
goal.
honest,
Well, your goal was to
feel
be in New York and be a lawyer with your
I know, but part
That's
of what she's
different,
saying
yeah.
is being open to rejecting the timeline that I had before me, and now I'm here, and I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. Like, this is a great life that I'm
Exactly.
living.
Yeah.
But it was never, and I made a conscious decision in college no longer to pursue that. But I
Right.
mean, you know what I mean? Like, that was really good.
But she's a Dr. Alley, not a regular
I'm
Alley.
here
Oh,
for
well,
it.
yeah, preach.
Right.
She'll-
I just
she'll
learned this dance.
I feel like that was a dripping in finesse
I'm trying to learn. I'm so bad at dancing.
Since you're talking about that, focus on the stuff with ourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if we want to be desirable to men, now I'm going to read you the list of what they've said that men are looking for in relationships. So sense of humor for a woman is actually at one of the top of the list. It's one.
Oh, wait, this is men
This
for
is
women.
men now.
Oh, okay.
Men, what they're looking for in a woman.
Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
got to work on me, so how can I make
Yes, I'm with
myself
you.
more
Yeah.
lovable?
Yeah.
Okay. Sense of humor, agreeableness. So that means going with the flow. Stop being so complicated and difficult,
Yeah.
which nobody likes a difficult person.
Right.
Oh my God. Opinionated. Men actually want an opinionated person. They
Yep.
just don't want you combative, but yes, please be opinionated.
Oh, yeah.
Kindness. Kindness is that's important on there.
That's
And
big.
intelligence, character, how you react to bad situations, whether you can handle hardship or not. Do you flip out, and start crying, or do you, pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Affection, and then it's independence, confidence, and respect. So, Kat, would you agree with all this list of like what a man is looking for in a woman? Like these are the common characteristics.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think I don't know if I can't say that I was like I want an independent, confident, agreeable person. But I think that's a lot of things. You basically want a strong, intelligent, confident person that you get along with. I mean, a lot of those qualities are like, could you get along with somebody? Are they kind, agreeable, things like that? I think, not unfortunately, but the way we are, men are almost trained to not think of women as qualities and more of like entities. Like this is a girl who looks, it's, you know what I mean? It's always
Objectified. It's an objectification. Turning a woman into
objectified. It's
an
not
art
like,
piece.
yeah, I mean, like for instance, I work with a lot of men. And it's never like, yo, this is my girl that, let me see her gram and see how kind she is. You know what I mean? Like, it's not what
charity.
yeah, that's not what men are generally
Or how
showing
big are her
off.
boobs and her ass.
That's what we, that's what we as a society have trained ourselves, from little boys to,
It's
the
a
media.
sexual attraction.
It's a sexual
physical.
attraction. Women are, it's not, of course you want a handsome man, but it's always like handsome with job,
What does he
gold,
do?
cars, credit,
Well, forget
house.
how you look. If you are successful and funny,
Women
like,
are-
if you treat me good, I'll forget what you
And
look like.
Men are
Lay
totally
that thing,
acceptable
too.
if she
Oh,
looks
you
good.
lay the pipe
Yeah.
down.
Well,
I'll
yeah.
forget.
This is the spicy,
I was
Uh,
gonna say,
That's part of the
There's
conversation.
the
is
spice. So yeah, I mean, I think men, if a girl's good looking and has a great body, other men would be like sold. They don't have to have anything else. But I think there's much more. People ask me about this, especially when we were first married in college. People are like, bro, how you gonna get married all day? I mean, at this age, you can only have sex with one person for the rest of your life.
right.
And I think when you're not married or you're college chasing girls or high school, you don't realize how like little of your married life is actual sex. Like
No, there's
time-wise.
so many more
You
time.
think it's
There's
More
literally-
hours in the
There's
there's
day.
much. Even if you had sex 1 hour a day every day of your marriage,
Mhm.
it's still the
Yep.
way small on the scale of things, and it's not 1 hour a day. You know what I mean?
Nobody
It's
has
just
time
not
for that.
realistic. Yeah, they
Nobody
ain't-
has time for that. You guys have 2 kids. You cannot have that
Yeah.
myself.
Yes.
One minute.
And that's what I love about being married. It's like let's all the societal norms. You got to go all night. I got to be up at 5. Kids got to be at school. Let's go to the point. This is what I like. This is what you like. Let's do those things, and then we'll be asleep. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the real thing. So I think but when men would be honest with themselves, these are the qualities that
And
we would
also,
say.
men that are well, first of all, people in marriages, especially happy marriages, live longer than people who
Absolutely.
are single. End of story.
Absolutely.
Your health is better. Your
Mhm.
quality of life is better.
Yep.
When men get divorced, their health tends to crash faster.
Yep.
Like being single is not this utopia that we set it up to be.
No.
And it's not.
Lonely.
Marriage isn't for everyone.
Right.
But you have to be balanced. And you have to be healthy. But I think a lot of people really make marriage this negative thing, like the whole. You really
Absolutely.
shouldn't have sex with one girl for the rest of your
Yes.
life.
Yes.
really? Like, okay, I don't have to worry
like
about getting
that.
a stranger pregnant.
Yes.
I don't have
or
to worry about
STD.
getting a disease. I don't have to worry about drama, getting my car keyed every other weekend.
Oh.
Sounds great.
And that's part of the reason, Spicy, you brought this up earlier. Like, I blast my wife on social media.
Yes.
Like, it's one of the reasons is to remind any new follower, this is who I'm with. This is where I'm at in life. Like, don't trip. Don't slide in my DMs. Like, we don't play none of that. Don't send me no booty on the sink pictures.
Booty on the sink.
We off that.
Booty on the sink.
Booty on the sink is a very particular Instagram,
That is real.
thing. Booty on the sink. Whatever it is about
I
sinks,
know.
you're like at the level to put your butt
That's
on.
it.
And
It
like,
like a little tank top on.
helps
it
to
does
juice
enough.
It helps to juice it.
No
and make
Photoshop
it-
necessary.
It helps juice it.
But I'm off that, and I think what Ali said is so true. Like, luckily for me and Melissa, we've never have been like the chase money, chase things. Like, we've had a great marriage, even before we made the money we have now, before we moved to LA. Like, we had great friends, you know, our kids are healthy, we can go on vacation relative to how much money we make. Like, peace of mind is worth so much more than a new girl or money. Like, Michael Jackson, rest in peace, all he wanted to do was sleep peacefully.
Right.
He just
He had a
couldn't
chamber.
sleep at night. Like, that's got to be the worst, most frustrating thing. You have all that money and fame and notoriety, and you just can't sleep 8 hours. And then all that, like, cheating and DMs. I don't want to, who am I texting? I forgot. I got to lie to Melissa.
Juggling, yeah.
I don't need all
You
that
gotta
pressure.
change their name to Pizza
Yeah,
Guy
I
or
don't-
Domino's or
Listen,
Like
Like-
a chick's name.
I'd rather just not, I'd
so
rather
much.
just not have sex
And then
that
you forget
night.
what you changed their name to. And the
I'm
wrong
not
one
good
shows
at that.
up.
I'm not good at lying. I don't have the energy.
No.
And then my kids, I gotta pick them up on Wednesday and Thursday, and I'm
And then kids always figure out that you're cheating. It's
yeah.
always
Yeah, they
kids
do.
are always
They know
the
that
ones
there's
because they're
a there.
snooping through all your
Yeah,
stuff.
kids be
They're
honest.
snooping, and so then now you have relationship issues with your family because now your kids are holding the
Yeah.
secret they shouldn't
Listen,
be holding.
Me and Melissa
Drama.
talk about this. I've talked about this a lot. Like, Melissa's parents got divorced, right? And I only bring this up for this point.
Mhm.
You would be surprised at how hard it is for a married couple to visit both sets of parents when even one is divorced. Because
Yes.
everybody wants Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Right.
And when you have 3 sets of people to visit,
Yep.
somebody's going to miss out. So in 2045, I didn't get Christmas or Thanksgiving this year. Like, little stuff like that, you can mess up in your marriage now. Like, okay, you're going to visit me and your mama on Thanksgiving. You can go visit your wife on Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to plan for that part of my life
Right.
to be cool. Like, just, I want, me and Melissa don't have this because, one, our parents got divorced. 2, my parents, both our parents are in the military. But we don't have that,
travels.
your kids go away and
Yeah.
my parents'
And you get a
house
break.
is here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going back to visit my parents because both of our parents moved around a lot. So this is what we're trying to have for our kids. Like,
Yeah.
you go away to college, I'm coming back. My parents,
You want your
house,
bedroom's still
grandchildren.
it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
My parents, they live in LA.
Yep.
They moved to Porter Ranch. My room is still my room. It's an office now, but my parents are there. Like, that's what I'm striving for.
Yeah.
Not money, not fame. Like,
Stability.
of course, stability and peace.
But
Stability and peace is so,
How
so
the heck do we
Go out there.
spread that sense, that feeling that you have? Because majority, a lot of people don't feel that same way. People, I think, are losing hope in marriage. Like, part of the reason I wanted you guys to come on was also, too, to talk about, like, why people think that getting married is a joke in 2018 now. Like, it's still extremely important. You know, iron sharpens iron. And so for you to think that you can just do it on your own and, you know, take care of self and not want companionship and somebody, you know, to have your back is crazy. You'll achieve so much more when you have that person who's looking out for you.
I agree. I mean, I think part of our thing is we think that back in the day, marriage was this and that in the 50s and 60s. Marriage has always had rocky times. The problem in the 50s and 60s is women couldn't go out and get jobs, so they had to stay in a marriage
Right.
because
didn't have
the
the
scarlet letter of divorce and the fact that they couldn't work, they're like, I literally can't do anything
Yeah.
else. So as women became more independent, they was like, bro, I don't need you. I get my own job. I'll make less money. So, you know, people are like, well, now with social media, people are cheating. Granddad in
People
the 50s
been
had a
cheating.
whole
Talk
family.
about it.
Hold
Two
on.
Everybody
blocks
has
away.
one grandfather that did that.
Whole other
Everybody has
family.
one
You see
grandfather.
the cousin like, who? You look like me. You know what I mean?
How you
Like,
have my last
we
name?
have a whole nother
Why
family.
is my auntie my same age?
Exactly. So that is not new or unusual. It's
Right.
just we have the internet, so it's more
Yeah.
rampant. So,
Yeah.
but it's more exposed. But cheating
There's more
is
access too, because
more
now you can get it on your laptop as
That's
opposed to
true.
back then. They used to have to sneak out.
Yeah.
Leave the key.
But
you know?
now, interestingly enough, like teens and kids are having less sex now.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're
Absolutely.
inundated. You could see like boobs on
they're
Snapchat.
having like, less sex and they're also getting married at a slower rate. Than
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're also a little
Previously.
smarter than us. You know, they're kind of realizing like, oh, I want to avoid some of these pitfalls that these like '80s kids we're all in.
Right.
Like all the pitfalls that we
Yeah.
fell
Right,
into.
right.
Because we were a lost generation, y'all. We were just...
look how we were raised by.
Oh, God.
Some crazies. But I know everybody asks you this question, but you guys did get married freaking young. You guys could have been a statistic, because majority of the time, the younger that you get married, the higher your chances of divorce
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
How
I
the
didn't know
heck?
About the people that got married.
How the heck did you guys do the damn thing? Like, you guys have, I'm sure, had some conflicts and trials and tribulations. How did you overcome those to stay together?
I'm still reeling at the fact that people got, like, I was thinking about all the people that got married when we did. Hey, we out off the marriage thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, number one, I don't like to say that marriage is work, but marriage does require work.
Not like that.
And people aren't willing to put in the time and the effort. Like I said, I read a lot of books. And one thing that happens a lot of times, and I think it's important. I think it's important that you invest in your marriage as far as education goes, and figuring out, sometimes you feel a certain way, but you don't always know how to articulate it. And I've read many books, and I've read a sentence, and I'm like, oh my God.
This is it.
It's enlightening.
That's what I think. This is what I feel. I have never been able to articulate this, but that is what I feel. Now I can have a conversation with my husband that says, this is how I feel. I can put words to those feelings that I have.
And now I was reading this book that said this.
Exactly.
And for whatever reason, that comes across easier than, you know what you need to do is this. You know what I mean? Like,
and then the other side, part of it is, number one, working on myself, identifying how I'm feeling. But I also read a lot of books that come from the man's perspective. So I understand how he's feeling and how what I say is interpreted from his side and from his point of view and from a man's perspective. And all of those things go into building a healthy relationship. And I think a lot of times people in general, I'm a natural student. I just call myself a student. I'm a student of life. I like to read and research and figure out information. And I think those are the things that, when you go through hard times, a lot of times, that's not to say things are perfect, but at the end of it, I can step back. I can understand what's going on. I understand what he's saying. I can try to understand what I'm trying to say. And then from there, we can come to an agreeable path forward. And a lot of times you just can't do that, because half the times I'm frustrated and I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't understand why you don't understand what I'm feeling. And then you're walking out the door because he's frustrated with me. And it's like, we're not getting anywhere.
But you're doing all this self-work on yourself, and you're bringing that to your partner. What happens when only one person is doing the self-work and he's not doing the reading, and he don't have time to hear, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And, you're quoting, and it's not working.
While she was talking, I was like, man, I hope they don't say,
I'm coming for you.
What
Because I know you're not reading. Because I asked my husband before, I'm reading this book, I want you to read it. I just have to give him the clip notes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just have to give him the clip notes.
I actually, this week, listened to a book on Audible for the first time in a while.
I tried Audible. He'll turn it down.
Yeah. I actually listened to it while I was in the gym. I think I admit that myself and most men are not working as diligently as our wives are. You know what I mean? And I don't really have a good explanation for that or reason why. We just be like, nah, fam, you tell me what I gotta do and I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
As long as you're open to that.
Yeah, us talking to our boys, like, no, I talked to Craig and them. They said this is what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So,
men are always crowdsourcing their information.
Oh man,
They're always like, wait, but let's see what my boys have to say. What does everyone else think? But like 10 out of 9 out of 10 guys would say that, like, I'm right.
Absolutely.
9 out of 10. I'm like, who are these 9 out of 10 guys?
Right. That's Craig.
Can I meet
Craig
these?
is one. The other 8 are them.
Craig is one.
But no, I am trying to get better at that. I'm trying to get better at reading overall. But I did say, Melissa's read like 10 relationship books to my one. We have read some together. Love languages.
That was good.
The one we just did is what was the Shanti Feldman one?
I'm gonna just let you show.
Our love is like a bread.
Love is like a bread.
For women only.
For men only.
Yeah, for men only. I just
highly recommended, by the way.
For men only?
For men only, for women
and
only.
For women only.
Oh.
But we did read a couple of them, like the 5 love languages. I think I actually read that one first. My aunt gave it to me, and that was like life changing.
Yeah.
So we read some, but we can be better.
The best one I've ever read is called "Hold Me Tight" by Dr. Sue Johnson, and it's about how your parental relationships impacts your love relationship that you're in
so
now. Because that person becomes your caregiver, and if you have unresolved issues with your original caregiver, then you're going to have the same issues with your partner.
Wow.
It is such a deep book, and it talks about the patterns of communication, and that's the enemy, not so much your partner. Your partner's not the enemy; it's the way you interact. That's the
That
problem.
is good, because
Everything
there's a
is
couple
our
of my
parents,
friends that
Blame your
repeat their parents.
Yeah.
They repeat their relationship with their parents with their
All
person
day.
they're dating. Yeah,
All day.
that's
It's such a
interesting.
good book.
Oh, I want to read it.
What you said? Hold me tighter.
Hold Me Tight.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna find
Sounds
it.
like a song. Hold
does.
me
It does sound like a
tight.
song.
Sue
50.
Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. 92.3. It's Hold Me Tight, number 6 on the chart.
I
He
know.
was
I'm
doing
like,
this earlier.
Kevin's coming for a job over here.
It's in your throat.
I would love to come to
My boss is
Burbank
gonna
instead
be
of going
like, "Spicy."
downtown.
Send Kevin over to me.
So much closer to
Yeah.
you guys are.
Yes, I was like, this might be cool. What y'all got doing at the Heart Media?
The heart media. The heart media.
Okay, next question though. Because I do want to. I need your guys' like once again marriage expert opinion on this.
Okay.
When you're talking to your friends and they're asking you questions or you're giving them around your circle this married advice or whatever, why are people so apprehensive to pop the question? I'm talking about men. Why are they so apprehensive to pop the question, especially when they've been in a long-term relationship with a woman and they have her waiting around? They can be very capable.
All the judgment and
Well, you guys have, but they're choosing not to. How do I help my sisters out there?
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I don't know. They tripping. No, I think there's been a couple of guys that I know. A couple of them, and women don't be wanting to hear this, but it is true. Sometimes they don't have the money, right? Men, we're
Like, I'm
providers
saving
by
for the
nature.
ring.
Like I want to, this, especially in social media generation. Like, luckily when we got engaged, the ring, there was no social media.
Right.
Melissa's ring was $99, and it was like, oh, I'm engaged. Like she wasn't ashamed of it, but there was no Instagram photo,
Right.
obligatory Instagram
Yeah.
photo. Now you be getting roasted if your photo's not right.
it's
So
not-
men are
A
like,
lot
bro,
of pressure. It's a lot of
it's
pressure.
a lot of pressure just to get the ring before the relationship even starts, and then you got to provide. Men don't. You want to make sure that when you get together, you have all your ducks in a row. And I think the fear of growing together, like Melissa and I, since we got married young, we were forced to like mature at the same pace. But as you get older, you're expected to have more of your life together. So men kind of want to get these ducks in a row. Then there's this big fear of what am I missing out on? If I marry
What am
her,
I missing out on?
yeah, it's
That FOMO.
that FOMO, that girl. There's this one girl I never got to be with, and blah blah blah. And I want my guy time and be able to go to the club or play the game or whatever. So I mean, I think those are kind of the big three. It's if I marry her, what am I missing out on? Do I have myself together? And do I have enough money? I mean, those are kind of one and the same. But I think a lot of the friends that I've talked to kind of boils down to that. Or I'm too young and I'm not ready for that level of commitment. That type of thing.
Okay, so that's a really big deal. I have a lot of people that come to me all the time when it comes to this question of how can I get him to pop the question? Is there anything that a woman can do that, in your opinion, that like can coerce him or make him feel like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it, other than getting pregnant, Kev?
Y'all can't take away my go-tos.
Baby.
In my life, there's been a couple of my female friends who have had an ultimatum, and it's not an ultimatum in the sense of like a fake ultimatum. It's been like, look, I don't know what you're trying to do with your life, but this is what I want to do with my life. If this is not where you want to go, let me know, because we're not going to continue doing this for forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you're not,
Honesty.
Have a
yeah, just
conversation.
being
You have
honest.
to communicate.
But it can't be like I make the joke about trapping with pregnancy. It can't be like if he says no and you're like, no, I was just saying, like, you got to be like
about it.
stout with your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and sometimes that might mean you'll lose them. But at that time, if you lost them now, did you really ever have them anyway? Because if they were never going to go that next step with you, then, but sometimes people will just be like, bro, she cool right here. I'm going to just see how long I can
I
keep
like
it like
your
that.
ass.
If she don't force me to get married, then I ain't going to do it.
My mom gave my dad an ultimatum. She told him that if he didn't propose, she would leave. They broke up. And then if he dated another girl, that was my mom continually refers to as something negative.
I really want to know. When we hang this up,
I was
and
going
cut
to
it
say
up.
it, but I was like, I don't ever want, no. And my mom would listen and be like, oh, no. And he broke up with that woman because I guess she wasn't my mom, and married my mom, and they've been together for 41 years.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's real.
So
Came back.
that one, it worked. I mean, but I don't know if post 50s life. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
were they married in 70s, something like that?
Yeah.
If I have to give you an ultimatum, though, so that's
Yeah.
what I don't necessarily agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to have a date in my head. This is a spicy tip. Have a date in your head. Have a conversation with him about it. See where he's at if you guys are on the same page, starting a future together.
Yeah.
But if the date is surpassing, what your idea is or your expectations of where you are in the relationship and where you're willing to grow and you want to go to, then you need to let him release you and you release him so that you guys can find the person you're supposed to be with. Because I'm a firm believer that, you know what, if it's not him, it's somebody else. Thank God that you got out the way.
Yeah.
I'm a savage, and I'm straight up, like, if I get a whiff that he didn't want anything permanent, I was out, because I never imagined myself married either.
Yeah.
I imagined myself 80 years old surrounded by cabana boys. Like, that's always what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Just like a long line of dicks, and then you get to the end and it's like 20 cabana boys with fans and fruit. Like, that's just... My husband's like,
That seems like a good
she
life.
talks about it all the time.
Oh, snap.
Seems like a good life.
That's always how I had imagined it.
Y'all dreams were crazy.
I never
They didn't include men most of the time.
Well, because I don't know. I just felt like men were fun. They were great, but it's like when he came, it was so obvious. He stood out so obviously from all the other
I ain't no
knuckleheads
cabana
that
boy,
I had
let me
been
tell
with.
you what.
Yeah,
I'm a
it was
cabana
just like,
man.
yeah, it was just like, oh my God. Because I've been with so many other guys that were just so subpar. You were trying to make it work, and you were kind of like, nope, never mind.
Yeah,
Out, leave.
yeah.
So he had to like blow your socks off for Aaron to pull you.
And he didn't even try to. It was just him being him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, oh my God, is this what it feels like to be with someone that actually you're supposed to be with?
Oh, I was about to rebuild my
wow.
entire team. Shay was going to be on my team. Like, he was going to be, probably a starting player. But he was going to be on the team.
Yeah.
And I let him know, I'm like, no, you're just going to be, trust me, I'm rebuilding my camp, rebuilding my tribe. And my stomach's growling. That was mine that time.
Hungry.
But when he had all the qualities that I was looking for, and I knew, like, oh, we are going to be an amazing couple together because you are going to strengthen me, I'm going to strengthen. Like, he was undeniable.
Yeah.
But I also knew that even though I wanted this person, I can't force this person to love me. Like you guys had said earlier, like you can't make them give you that. They have to want that. And when you start to see that somebody is not on the same page with you, that's when you have to release them. You got to let them
Y'all
go.
missed the perfect opportunity to sing a Bonnie Raitt song.
I heard it.
But y'all didn't let me sing it loud. So.
I was feeling her point.
I
do agree.
You gotta let them growling to
Let
go
him back
down.
into the ocean like you caught a fish that was too small. Let him back into the ocean.
Okay, I have a personal question for you guys. You got married at 16.
No. Dated at 16.
Okay,
Married
dated
at
at 16,
21.
married at 21.
21, 20. She was 20.
We've been together for 13 years. I'm not good with numbers.
Me either, girl.
Okay. But while I'm on the topic
13.
of numbers, watch how I flip this. Your body count. Kevin, she the first person that you've been with? Tell the truth. No. She's shaking her head no.
I'm a reborn
You guys were
in
so
Jesus,
young.
so
stop.
she's the first one after I gave
you
my
haven't
life
had
back
a lot of
to
people.
No.
Like, that is
She is
crazy.
not the first person I made the sex with. She's the only one I made the love with. Though.
Okay, that was a great save.
Boy, do you see what I did?
See, I put you guys in the hot seat. Did you take her virginity?
Take, give. I was granted.
Were you
gave
blessed?
her virginity.
I was
You
blessed. I was blessed. We were married. We didn't have sex until we got married. So I had sex before, but I was just a wretch undone. I don't know. I was running the streets.
God.
I was a rabid dog. I didn't know. No
wild
collar.
animal.
Nobody to love. I'm out here hunting. I don't know what's going on. And then I saw a wolf that I was like, I like this wolf. I'd like to make a pack with this wolf.
Wolf pack outside.
Wolf pack. I left the rest of the wolves. I got a collar on and a
You were
leash.
making men.
And the thing is, when I got with her, she was like, "Look, I seen you in the streets. This ain't finna be that. So you could, you're welcome to join me, but it ain't gonna be what you think."
I was an old soul.
She was 16.
I mean, at 16,
She
I
was knitting a blanket
all
at the
about-
time. Like, where'd you get a blanket from? I don't know, but let me tell
You
you.
still had her.
During the war,
it.
during the war, I used to work in the tank division. What are you talking about? But we really didn't have sex with each other until
Till
we
marriage.
got married. Yeah.
Okay,
And,
the same age you guys had sex, you were 21. I was
She was
21 when
20.
I lost my virginity. So I waited a long time. So that's why my body count is a little bit less than most. Not much, just a little bit less. But do you guys ever wonder, well, maybe not you, do you ever wonder what it would be like to experience other people? Tell the truth, pretend like he's not here.
No, and I'm going to be honest with you. I do not. simply because I don't even want to allow my mind to wander that way. Those thoughts are seeds. Those thoughts are fertile ground. And so I do not even allow my mind to wander, and I'm satisfied. I like bacon. I don't like turkey bacon. I don't want to taste turkey bacon because I like pigs.
Dang, my bad because I like all the bacon.
This is great. I love the way this whole thing is going.
And you're no longer, you're no longer interested. So, I mean,
It's okay, girl. You can tell me later when he's not here. You can tell me later when he's not here.
That's fine.
Okay, I always have to like make sure that I wrap up this show with a little bit of the naked truth. Okay, because you guys gave us a little sex ed right now.
Yes.
So, naked truth, all right? You guys are in the hot seat. If you had to choose, Kev, between eating, sleeping, sports, and sex, it's the ends of the world, which one would you choose?
That I get to do?
Yep, last thing you get to do.
Sex.
Okay. Melissa, what are you choosing?
Wait. What are the options?
It's
Eating,
the ends
sleeping?
of the world. You get to eat, sleep, sports, or sex.
I'm finna die. I want to shoot you. The world's ending. I want to play 20
How
minutes.
is the world ending? I might want to
There's a
sleep.
North Korea. They press.
North Korea
got
is
20
the most
minutes.
reasonable option.
I want to be sleep.
Sleep?
I don't. Let me wake up with Jesus.
Some people say that. Some people are like, no, I just want it to be peaceful. Let me just go out sleeping.
I just want to.
I want to be knocking the drawers down when my house explodes and I die.
You can do that. She'll just take a sleeping pill.
Right.
You do what you gotta
We know what y'all
do. Everyone's happy.
We'll go right into heaven. Jesus, did you see that? Your boy was out here.
Stop.
Oh,
These are some real fucking issues right now. We live at the harbor, okay? We live right in Long Beach. This is definitely what's getting hit first. We all know this.
Oh, yeah.
We all know this. If they're hitting anything, they're hitting us.
Oh, man.
Don't talk about it. Freaks me out.
Aaron, what would you choose? Because I know what Dr. Ali would choose. I haven't had you in the studio before. Eat, sleep, sex, or sports?
I mean, I would be too nervous to eat, so it would probably have to be sex.
Oh, you're comfortable.
My man.
Comfortable
There we
for
go.
sex.
So I will
Too
also
nervous
be
to
having
eat.
the sleeping pill.
You said sleep?
I said sleep.
What?
I said sleep.
Are you
They don't
Both of
care,
you guys chose
Aaron.
the
They don't
same
care.
I have the
No,
Bill,
I
I have
would
the Bill Cosby. Or, like,
Yup.
what? You gotta be kidding me.
Man, I'm getting one last hit in before I go to heaven. Because you know you're not going to have sex in heaven. God's not going to let that
God's
happen.
gonna be like, really, fam?
First of all, unless
I
you're
mean,
Mormon, Mormons get to have sex in heaven.
Do they?
They're the only ones, supposedly. They say that they're the only ones that get to have sex in heaven. That's
We'll see
I
about
didn't know
that,
that.
Joseph Smith.
Okay, pretend like Kev's not here, Melissa.
Okay.
You get to smash one person without him ever knowing in Hollywood.
I didn't even get a chance
Celebrity
to plug my
crush.
ears.
Celebrity crush.
Don't.
Who's the crush that you would
wanna
crush?
know.
You have to choose, or Kevin's gonna die. Who would you sleep with?
Kevin's gonna what?
Die.
She has
Die?
She has
Let
to
me
sleep
die.
with this celebrity crush.
I will die.
Oh, there's so many.
There's so many.
I mean, there's so many to choose from. I would probably go with. I don't know. Let's go with Will.
No.
Will.
He's a good choice.
He's a good
responsible
choice.
choice.
Yeah.
That's a responsible choice.
Aaron's mad
two
about
of us.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Lucy Liu.
Oh, you said a woman?
Lucy Liu?
Lucy
Yeah, she
Liu.
said
Oh
Lucy
my
Liu.
God, I'm
That's
Lucy
the
Liu
listening
is
best
to all
hot.
life in the world.
She gave me
She's
great
gorgeous.
reasons
I
for
love
Lucy
Lucy
Liu.
Lucy Liu is quite possibly the most random selection.
That was
It
very
is.
random.
Man
She's
or woman.
always been my crush. I
Why?
always loved Lucy Liu since I was a
From
kid.
She's
Charlie's
adorable.
Angels?
She has
Yep,
little
I thought she was
freckles.
gorgeous.
She's
She
Vietnamese. with
I mean,
the
she's
freckles.
beautiful.
So
She's
cute.
beautiful.
I think she's beautiful. I just ain't nobody like, nah, that Lucy,
Lucy
Liu.
Liu, I want to say
Let me tell
That
you
was,
what.
she was my thing. Lucy Liu.
That's hysterical.
Lucy Liu is like Lucy Liu.
I thought you were gonna say. I
Like
thought you were
Lou.
gonna say Ryan Reynolds, but
No.
Ryan
Lucy
Reynolds is he's at the top of my list.
He was
too.
on top of mine
Brad
too.
Pitt back in the day. Now
Lucy
Ryan
Liu.
Reynolds for sure.
or the Troy version of Brad Pitt. That's
That's
the
a good
other-
one,
Oh,
too.
that's
The
the
Troy
version.
version,
Yeah,
the
we
very
got
specific
Yeah,
Brad
she was a
Pitt.
specific
Circa
Brad
10
Pitt.
years
He
ago.
he had the hair and the sword.
And the abs.
Hector. Yeah,
That
he
little
was.
nice
Kev,
tab.
you in the hot seat. You get to answer this
Okay.
question too. Who you taking down? What crush you crushing?
We're crushing,
Beyonce.
crushing.
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Okay. Okay. Body swap. Are you guys doing it? Yes or no? If you could swap bodies for the day,
Absolutely.
would you swap bodies, Kev? Would you hop
With
into her
her?
body?
Oh, his body.
You're swapping bodies
Girl,
into her.
I
You're
was
swapping
here
bodies
for
into
someone
him.
else's body.
She's like Beyonce's body. Sign me up for that one. Swapping with that.
Swapping all
I
day.
thought about that, but I think it would be a little bit more of a life lesson if you guys swapped each other's bodies.
Yeah.
Would you do it? Would you be her for the day while she's on her cycle? Like,
I think every man needs to be
just
a woman
I agree with that.
during one
cycle
period.
day
And
of being
pregnancy.
a woman.
Oh my God, yes.
Absolutely,
I
100%.
don't.
That should
I don't
happen.
think
That
I
should
would
be a
want to
thing.
do that.
You would not sign up for that. You don't get. You get to experience what it feels like to have titties, to have. butt.
You wouldn't want to be a girl and masturbate?
You don't even want to try that.
I would definitely. If I was in his body, I would definitely
swap.
masturbate.
You would swap
I
for
would
There's
swap.
nothing about being a woman that I'm like,
Sorry.
I mean, I have man boobs, so that's not like boobs are boobs.
That's a little
During a cycle, that actually would be interesting. I'd be like, I want to know what that feels like. Do you feel the blood? Is it a lot? Is it a little bit?
Yeah, you feel it.
Yeah,
You feel
It
it?
feels like pee
It
almost.
feels like
you're
pee
peeing,
running down
yeah.
your leg if you don't catch it.
Yeah, it's
No,
nuts.
what?
Yeah,
What?
you feel
How do you just live your life?
It's been happening so
She
much.
did that to
That's-
bare your chest.
You can
Exactly.
really feel it?
Yes. And don't let a clot come out.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh.
And then ovulating too when it's like that goo goo. Okay, you know.
And the
We're-
cramps
Y'all
you get.
can feel, y'all be at work like, oh,
Yes.
that was.
Yes, welcome to being a woman every month.
I take it back. I don't want it. I want it to
you
be
know
that.
what's down and dirty
should
over
happen.
here.
This absolutely should happen.
How can you feel it?
This
How do you just go
absolutely
on
should
about your
happen.
day like that?
I love
Yeah.
that your ears are closed.
Yeah, welcome.
How are you
welcome.
going about your day?
And then you're
Ears are
losing
closed
blood,
like
so you're
that.
also exhausted, and you have a headache, and you're a little confused because
And
you're
a
losing
little-
blood, and you're still
the
at work.
older I get,
You're
the
losing
more
iron.
moody I get.
Yeah,
I mean,
that-
God.
I mean,
Lately, it's. She's,
I don't know what happened.
In other
had
words,
fire in
she
her
wants to
eyes.
switch with you because this is not that hard.
I'm
on life
completely
for
here
you.
for this body
I feel like
You
you guys are
wouldn't
just
switch
wanting to
with her.
pee in the snow and be like, man,
Oh, yeah, I
this
wanna-
thing is crazy. It's like a fire hose.
It's like a handle. I would totally
I would
play with that
absolutely
thing.
do it.
I would totally be
He would be a sex offender by the end of the day because I would have been peeing everywhere. They'd be like, "Excuse me, sir, you cannot pee here. You are going straight to jail."
Are you sure?
I'm peeing on everything. I'm R.
Everything.
Kelly.
He'd wake up
R.
in jail.
Kelly.
'cause of
This
it.
is the great part about being a man. I pee outside all the time just because we can.
Just because.
We have to when we can't get to the restroom. We pop.
No,
that
I
squat.
mean, while I'm at home, I'm just
But-
like, I'm going to pee in the backyard.
I'm talking about like a drunk night after
Nope.
the king.
No, this is a true story.
I just go and pee in the backyard and let the animals know whose house it
Fertilizer.
is.
That's they need to know.
They be like, yo,
Water
what's that?
needs-
Oh, that Kev, bro. Don't go in
They
his
need to know.
backyard. It's crazy.
I'm
That's why it
completely
smells
here
like
for
that.
like her encouragement. They need to know. I
They
totally
need to know.
understand.
They need to know. They be crawling in the backyard and
He needs
cats
to
and stuff.
suffer.
If I could do it,
Suffer
I
our
would.
pain.
If I could do it, I would.
Okay, you guys survived the spicy
Woo!
life. Congratulations, you made it.
Thank you.
Okay, talk about any and everything, every project that you guys have going on. Push it. Let everybody know like where they could find you, where they could buy tickets, everything that you have.
All right, great. Well, I'm Kev on Stage. She's Miss Kev on Stage on all social media. We don't try to steal our names on new social medias that are coming out. We are starting our tour next Friday. You can buy tickets on kevonstage.com.
January 26th.
January 26th. The Love Hour is at 6 p.m. And then there's a comedy show at 8 p.m. You can buy merch at kevonstage.com. You can buy Melissa's book at misskevonstage.com. It's called The Journey to Self-Love. And
LA show February 7th.
LA show is sold out.
It's
So
sold
Oh,
out.
what? Oh, no, I need a ticket.
LA show sold out.
First off, whose lap do I need to sit on?
So yeah, I mean, just find us on Facebook. Melissa has her Two Brown Girls YouTube page, our Miss Kev on Stage page, her Facebook page, and I'm everywhere. Kev on Stage. Just search your boy. And thank you for allowing us to come
Yeah,
here.
this is
Oh,
great
no,
fun.
we're so
We're very
happy to have
This
like
is great fun.
people who have been in the game. You guys
Oh my
are seasoned
gosh,
vets.
right?
I have it right. You guys have been married now for you met at 16. You've been married for 13 years. You got married at 21.
Yes.
Okay. See?
There we go. The number
got it.
game.
I was not in your
And
corner.
they got 2 kids.
And 2 kids, 11 and 9.
Dr. Allie, where can they find you?
All right, you can find me at Allison Hicks. That's spelled ALLYCIN because my mother hates me. Hicks. That's AllisonHicks.com. That's Allison Hicks on Twitter. That's Allison Hicks on IG.
And you guys can always play with my Twitter and stroke my Instagram at SpicyMadi. And go to thespicylife.com for all of the spicy tips and more. And go to Real 92.3 as well. Hear your spicy tips there. There you guys have it. You have just been spiced.
And we're out.
Spicy.